Hi, this is retired Sergeant Steve Miller, and you are watching Planet Green Trees.
Here's Michael Camorn with more Planet Green Trees.
Alrighty. Is the meme?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Apparently there's a funny meme going on right now. Jim is hysterical.
You're out.
That was
I
hilarious.
see the delay now. I see the delay. Okay.
That's hilarious.
All right, good. So we're back.
And if you don't think that's funny, I can't help you. I'm sorry.
An extra dessert tea. If I
You had to know something about
Dessert
that cat
teas,
story.
everyone. We've got some
There's
dessert
a dessert
teas.
tea here for Jamie, and he's not here to drink it.
All right. So let's move on here. We've got a lot of other topics. Somebody pick a topic. I don't
Oh,
care.
delish.
What are you talking about?
Well, I would just like to say that I am really very appreciative of President Trump's attempts to litigate his way out of this hole he has found himself in. I have never seen people that call themselves attorneys act in such a fashion. The testimony in front of the Oversight Committee yesterday in Lansing, it was insane. It was one of the most...
There hasn't been a credible witness produced until yesterday.
Well, hold on. And I saw one person. I'm not taking a position here, but I do want to comment on the lawyering. And a very important point about all this. But there was a guy who was a tech master, right? Some kind of techie guy that did not speak very highly of the election machines, where they originated from, and some of the, programs that are used, or the algorithms for that could lead themselves. They are. His testimony was they can be manipulated, right? I mean, I'm not suggesting. It was the first I'd heard anything about any of that, but it seemed like they're so popular that any election you could say this about, and that unless you have a forensic evaluation of every single voting machine ever used, which is the pattern, then you're never going to be able to say otherwise. It's kind of like the idea of this. Here you go. Here's a good analogy that the substance that doesn't have any plant material in it. It could be synthetic. Could be. Not really, but it could. The chances are not likely. But it's possible. It's plausible kind of thing. Like anything is.
But the things they're saying they have no basis in reality. The testimony that was being offered by what they labeled as some sort of IT consultant with Dominion was testifying that she observed, I believe it was 5,000 ballots being run through the machines at least 8 times. And when she was prompted with, well, then why weren't the balances for the precincts off by 40,000 votes? Because that's the only way that could possibly happen. She would just continue to basically berate and yell at the committee.
Yeah, so there was a couple.
Accuse them of fudging the report.
Yes,
I saw a lot of that, and I saw that the committee chair silencing the people that were questioning, to the extent that it made these morons seem empowered to be able to talk back and whatnot.
This was at our state legislature.
Oh yeah,
yes?
Rudy Giuliani was there.
Oh,
At our state legislature.
Yes, in
I think
Lansing,
we've said it's looking like it was in the Judiciary Committee.
it was
or
the Oversight Committee.
Right.
It was insane. It was one of the most insane things I've seen, and it's just one after the other. I mean, I watched the case in front of the Court of Claims by Thor Hearn, and that was another one where they don't understand that it's called a preliminary injunction in the state of Michigan. That's what you have to file for, folks. And in order to do that, you have to have a brief. You have to kind of tell the judge why you want a preliminary injunction. It's kind of a big deal. And they just came in completely unprepared. And to me, it's like, and regardless of where you stand on the issue, You have to ask yourself: is the campaign intentionally trying to lose? They can't find anyone better than this, or any arguments better than these.
Listen,
Well, you know, Michael and I have had discussion this week about how maybe our faith in the judges in the criminal justice system has really wavered and failed, and you can't help but not have confidence in it. But in regards to this political bullshit, we're talking about, we're both grateful for the fact that, you know, these courts, that's who's evaluating the stuff right now. And these judges, you know, they haven't brought anything to these judges, and some of these judges are Trump appointees that are saying, you got nothing here. And so you got to bring evidence to the courts. That's the good thing about the courts. And the courts, you know, in a state legislative session, there's a lot of circus-type nonsense going on these days at the federal and state level. Well, that shit doesn't go on in the courts. You know, and if it is going on in the courts, that's a judge that has zero control of the courtroom. So at the end of the day, in our system and the mess of what the legislator can be, and even the executive branch, as we've seen for 4 years, can be so ridiculous, we have the courts to keep things in check, thank God.